Life. It is the journey between birth and death. It is the intricate story unique to you and me. Though we are different, we share similar desires. A desire to belong, for purpose, community, and to reach out to others. It all begins with belonging.
This was the day. This was the day that I've been waiting for my whole life. We had our son, Julian, and what was supposed to be the happiest day of my life became the most traumatic day of my life. We got the diagnosis that he was going to suffer of cerebral palsy. And I refused for him to go. I was told to read his last rites to him, and I refused. I didn't know God. I didn't know anything, and I unleashed on God. I screamed. I hated him. And then I cursed him because whatever he had done to me, I would accept, but this child had done nothing wrong. I thought I was to blame. I was angry with myself. But why was I like this? Am I choosing to be like this? I realized that I had to change. And finally we called a church and was able to meet with Mike Hearn. And we sat in this room and I openly confessed the darkest, coldest sins I committed in my life and the anger of the things that I was feeling to him. And he said, "It's not me you need to say this to." And we prayed. It's like a weight came off of my shoulders. I can't explain it. It was this joy, this sense of, again, being home. I belong. This is the family that I've been so long missing.
Once we found a place, that place that answers the central question of where we fit, the next chapter of our story is unfolding, laying roots, growing.
We were at a point where we were just absolutely drowning in debt. I was borrowing money every single month to make my house payment. I was borrowing money from one account, paying it off, and the debt just kept building and building. The church in general have done a great job with the importance that's placed on accountability. And that's been huge.
The growing really happened at church. I mean, I just was so hungry to hear more. Whether it was with a women's group or our couples group, that is a great opportunity for growth because I had an opportunity to ask questions and to really investigate, but knowing that I could get an answer there.
I don't think either one of us would fool ourselves to think that we would even still be married if Christ had not come into our lives, that God had not come into our lives when he did.
As we grow, we realize that this life is not just about us. It is about those around us, about our community, and the part we play in it. It is about discovering our purpose in life.
It was very uneasy at first. She didn't know what our intentions were. And she came back that afternoon and was astounded at what had happened to her yard. And that was the beginning of her starting to trust us. Another really exciting thing that we saw, the change in her, was from someone hiding in her house to standing out in the front yard, waving at her neighbors when they went by. For us to see that in her was pretty exciting.
I just love them. And look at this beautiful home they painted. And we're going to do the roof somehow, too. I'm very grateful for their help. I love the attitude. There is not a person here who isn't kind, loving, giving, thoughtful.
When the lights come on for people and they serve maybe for the very first time, you know, outside of the church, and they start to get it, it's a fantastic feeling for me to see that. So we, have over 1,800 people out over this weekend serving and meeting people. We're trying to build a relationship. While we're doing work and we're playing games with kids and all those things, it's not even about today. It's about how do we create opportunities for our people to go back and have an ongoing relationship. It's just, it's tremendous.
We all have a desire to affect others, to play an active part in their story. But how far do we need to reach? Just to our closest friends and family, our neighbors, or to those in faraway lands?
Probably the biggest thing that I struggled with, spent almost all my time at work. Being single, I just kind of put all my time and energy in work, and I was doing great with it, moving up the ladder. So, I would go in on Saturdays and Sundays. But for what? But I knew I was missing something. And then it was through the community group that I found out about a mission trip to New Orleans. And so I signed up for it. And it was during that mission trip that I was connected with 12 fellow brothers and sisters in Christ, and for 1 week we went down there to help rebuild and distribute food. And I remember sitting in this service, and during worship, and it wasn't the song, I don't know what it was, but I could tell I was like tearing up a little bit. I'm thinking, what is going on? And I was trying to think, have I changed? What in my life has changed? And then I just it hit me. It's like God's telling me, you're in the middle of New Orleans on a missions trip with 12 people you never met before, and you're asking, have I changed? And I just remember during that service the whole time just thinking, yes, I'm down here, something I never would have done before, and it's because of God.
We've also teamed up with Feed My Starving Children this weekend, and we're packing over 225,000 meals. And our hope is that that's going to feed 616 children in Haiti for a year. Doing that is one thing, but to see our people and kids, half of them being kids, packing these meals and leaving with this sense of, I get it. There are people in a part of the world that there's many more of them than us, and they have so less than us. Here's what I need to do. And kids and adults are getting that, so it's pretty cool.
Belonging, growing, serving, reaching. This is our story. The story of life. The story that unites us.
Our motivation statement around here is loving God and loving people. And I think when people walk through our doors, they experience a warmth, and there's a sense when you walk through our doors, God's in the house. You just know it. You can feel it in this place.
We just always thought of this as our home.
I feel so cared for there. I feel so loved there. I don't know that I've ever felt like that.
We have seen God demonstrate His faithfulness to us.
The day that I came here, I stopped my wife and I said, I'm home. She goes, I know. I said, no, I'm home.